So I've started these segments of Coffee with Casey. Maybe I'm giving good advice, maybe it's hogwash, whatever. But at the end of it, this is not a mistake. Choose love.
Hi everybody, this is David Raleigh, Superintendent of LaRue County Schools, coming to you with another Hawk Talk. Today we're coming to you from Lion Station here at Casey Clark's business of Clarkmanship. That's not Clarksmanship, it's Clarkmanship. And those of you that may follow Casey on Twitter or on Facebook, you've probably seen his video of Coffee with Casey. So I'm here at the infamous spot where he let me get a sip before he gets started. Casey, you know, again, just to remind folks, what we're trying to do with LaRue County Schools is get out to the community and meet with business owners and community leaders and help make that connection.
Sure.
And so far, we've been able to do that with some hawks that were born here, and this is another opportunity for that. So, for some folks out there that may not know who Casey Clark is, would you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, gladly. All right, my name's Casey Clark. I am a 2001 LaRue County graduate. I went to college to be an occupational therapist, and I still do that. You know what? I'm an occupational therapist. My wife is an occupational therapist. My sister-in-law is an occupational therapist. So we decided, you know what? Let's start a business to where we can maybe help serve the community and do that. So we have a therapy business contracting in school districts, including LaRue County. So there's one connection. We do occupational therapy in schools. And then I have, yes, this old barn here. My business is Clarkmanship. I'm a woodworker, and this actually isn't an old barn. This is a new build, but there used to sit a barn over there built by my great-grandpa. And so the wood that you see on the front of my shop, I tore that old barn down and cladded my new building with, this wood came from the 1920s. So trying to give old life to new things. Or new life to old things, I should say.
You know, and I was going to get into this later, but that segues perfectly into something that you did for us. You know, we've been trying to give some of our facilities facelifts here and there with the funds that we have available to us. And one of the things that we did recently, of course, we had at the middle school, we had restrooms renovated and stuff like that. But we also gave the media center, the library, a little bit of a facelift. And one of the things that we wanted to do, because we didn't have enough money to buy new shelving, was we wanted a circulation desk to kind of match the existing shelving. And so, again, the with the new, do you mind sharing with our folks out there what you did there?
All right, so I built this circulation desk, and what they were wanting was just something really large. It's 15 foot by 5 foot in an L shape, I believe. And you know, when you're building something that's commercial grade like that, it's hard to get really unique, right? And I've made this business a lot on, hey, people are bringing me things that they've had. My grandpa's got this wood in their barn. Can you make me a table? And I wanted something cool like that, because to be able to build in LaRue County that had given, I feel like, so much to me in my education, I wanted to give something cool back than something that was just plywood and Corian. So luckily, you all had also recently renovated the gym.
That's right.
And there was a bunch of the old court that was just sitting in storage. And they were cut into actually perfect sections, like 5 foot by 5 foot sections. And the way that I had the circulation desk, it wasn't an L, it was like a 245-degree angle. So I had 4 panels that I was going to have to fill. And it was perfect. You had 4 really good pieces that were 5 foot. And so I got those cut down, sanded all those years of poly, because I think that floor was from like the 60s when it first went in, right?
Yeah, late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a really old court. And so we installed those, and specifically, I didn't put them all in a run because I didn't want it to just look like hardwood floor all the way across. So we've got a section that's going up and down, a section going diagonal this way, a section diagonal this way, and a section going horizontally. And I did that very much on purpose because, you know, public school, so many of us come in, we all go through there, and we all go through that library. We checked out books, we all hung out with Miss Constance, and you know, we all left and went in different directions. Some of us Some people became doctors. Some people work in the factory. Some people came back and taught. Some people have two businesses that have nothing to do with one another, right? And I wanted to pay homage to that. And that was a cool way to, hey, I'm building more than a circulation desk. I'm building something that is, that was once here and then also now has new life.
So what's pretty cool about that is, so here you have so you probably had PE on that floor. I don't know if you played,
Yeah,
I don't know
I
if you
did.
played basketball or anything like that.
I played basketball freshman year. I wasn't very good. I'm a big UK fan. That was disappointing because I was not very good at basketball, but that's all right.
That's all right, but here's a floor that you actually participated on in some
spent some time,
regards,
yeah.
and now it's in your hands to build something that is going. And this is a humongous piece of furniture. It's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Right.
It's going to be there. a
Yeah,
while.
it's sticking around.
And so there is kind of your legacy where. You know, and not only did you take wood that you reclaimed some wood that was already on the floor, but you've kind of also invested your ideas and beliefs about the school system into it, which is what I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so if you haven't seen that circulation desk, come out to the middle school and check that out, because it really is. I mean, it is a functional piece of furniture, but it's also kind of a piece of art. You've done a great job with it.
That's very nice. Thank you.
What else? What are some other projects that folks out there that you have done that folks may not be aware of?
Okay, so in Hodgenville specifically, last year, it's interesting. My therapy business and my woodworking business kind of had polar opposites of how they were affected in COVID. Therapy kind of stopped. Kids don't go to school. Kids aren't there to be seen. No therapy to be had. So that part of business stopped. But Vibe Coffee had a plan to open in Hodgenville, and nothing was going to stop that plan. They had it very well designed, and it made it through the effects, the poor business effects of COVID, and they just kept on going through. So where therapy stopped, Clarkmanship picked up, and also I got to build something. It was commercial, and they wanted more of a story. And it just so happened, the fellow that you had on first Hawk Talk, Paul, he's part of owning that building. They knocked down a tree that sat right behind that building 2 years before Vibe ever came in. And Jimmy Shaw they cut up the tree and they left it out on his farm. Maybe one day we'll use it, maybe one day we won't. And it just came up. He's like, look, I've got this 54-inch diameter log. How cool would that be to make the countertops here? So Caleb helped me shoot a video for that where I put a tree in a coffee shop, so to speak. And that was a cool opportunity. And that's kind of a real big staple of downtown Hodgenville. And I did quite a bit of work in there and stuff I'm very proud of. So that's very good.
And again, that's beautiful as well. We invited our viewers to, if they hadn't been to visit Vibe yet, to come out and visit that. What a great location it is, but your workmanship in there as well. So yeah, and again, taking part of LaRue County that most people would probably discard, not pay attention to, and make it something usable and again a piece of art. You talked about being a UK fan, and I'm a big UK fan. Go Cats! Currently, they're 6-0 and playing.
Getting ready to play Georgia for number one.
But so some folks out there may be familiar with KSR or the KS Bar and Grill.
Oh yeah.
And so you've done some work for them as well.
Yeah, what's interesting with that? So I'm just a big fanboy of the show. I love UK sports, and when they started talking about doing the bar, I thought, oh man, I'm going to get it in. I'm going to put something in there. And what's really interesting, Ryan Lemon is one of the co-hosts, and Matt trolls him all the time, and he puts his phone number out for everybody to call and text or whatever. So I had his phone number, and that's how I got my in. I text him until somebody responded and said, look, I build stuff, I want to build. And actually, let me back up a little bit. I didn't get a whole lot of response. They did a remote in Bardstown. They bring their show on the road, And so I put the KSR logo in a half barrel and just gave it to them as a gift. Well, when they mentioned that the bar was opening up, I was like, hey, Ryan, I am the guy that gave you that barrel top. I want to do something. So they and I was just thinking, just little 24-inch pub tables. Yeah. I just wanted to do something. And I finally just pounded the door down. I bet I texted him 10 or 15 times. And he responded and gave me somebody else's number that was more in the logistics of it, Hubby. And he said, he'll get you in line. So met with hubby, and he said, you know, we're not going to just want you to build these little pub tables. We've got this corner over here, and we want our logo on the table. Will you put our logo on a table? And I was like, well, yeah. So I jumped at the opportunity to do that, and then from there it led to, they had sections of the Rupp Arena court.
Oh.
And they asked me, like, we got these court sections, we don't know what to do with them. So I've got 2 sliding doors that I put up in there. And actually players come in and sign them. So like there's probably 20 signatures from different players over the years. And that was the court from like 1971 to 2002, I think is when they changed it out. I've done that, and right now I'm getting ready to start on another one. So, you know, with NIL, players are able to get
that's right.
money now. KS Bar has kind of partnered with them where they do autograph signings and stuff. So the original table that I built, they want me to put it on wheels, and they want it to be able to roll all over the restaurant. And they're like, all right, so now we've got this stage that's made out of, I built it out of barrelhead staves and sections of the Rupp court. I called it the Rupp and Rye court. And they're like, all right, we want to make this somewhere that's like a special place for people to come in and sit, like something that we give away. So I'm doing a wraparound bench and then another table with a burnt logo on the front of that. And yeah, they just keep sending me stuff. It's cool because like I'm their wood guy. Yeah. I'm their craftsman.
So what I think is cool about that is obviously I'm a big UK fan. So the fact to know that a LaRue County guy has built stuff for them that is housed up there in Lexington. You know, I don't know. I just feel like I kind of have a little bit of a connection there too.
Yeah,
so
it brings us all together.
That's right.
6 degrees of separation. That's right. That's right.
I appreciate that. Thinking more in terms of broader community, Casey. You're a young guy with you know, kids in the system.
Yeah.
What if I were to ask you what is your vision for the future of the community in the school district? What would you say?
Well, I think I really like the direction that things are going, and specifically because if you look around the school district, or if you look around a lot of the community, like things that are happening, you know, people that went to school at LaRue County are coming back. You know, I lived in Lexington and in Campbellsville. You know, I was gone for 10 years, and I moved back, and I live here I'm 5th generation on this farm.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, people have a sense of like roots to set down here, and not just the sense of like this is where I'm from, but this is where I'm from and I want to make it better. And you've got, I think right now, like it seems, I don't know if it's just that I'm older and I'm paying more attention, or that there is actually more action taking place, but there's a lot of younger people that are getting involved in roles in the community, and half of our teaching staff are former LaRue County grads, or not, I wouldn't say teachers, but people that work in the school system. Probably half of them graduated from here, and if not graduated, are from, you know, local areas. And you got a sense of, especially with Glendale getting the Ford plant, you've got this really nice sister community that's 20 minutes from there that has a huge opportunity for growth, and people want to grow. So, you know, like going out to Lincoln Days last week and seeing that was the biggest thing, the biggest Lincoln Days in like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years as far as I'm concerned. And I don't know, it just feels like home, and it feels like it's home for a lot of people. This isn't just a passerby. Yeah. You know, people are here and they're staying here. So what makes me excited is that very fact that people are finding this home.
Yeah. So in thinking in terms of in the future with that plant coming in and folks looking in this area, this region for you know, maybe relocating, what would you say to them that would be the biggest plus of coming to LaRue County? And you know, not that there's anything wrong with any of the other surrounding counties, but you know, particularly Hodgenville or LaRue County.
Well, I will say this, like, you know, Bardstown, most beautiful small town in America a few years ago, right? You've got a lot of these smaller towns around the area that are doing a lot of growth, And Hodgenville is starting to piggyback on that. LaRue County's starting to piggyback on that. So it's almost like we're an untapped market. Right in between, you got the Ford plant going in on one side, you've got a billionaire that just moved in down the road and building an old distillery, building it back. And it's a concert venue, and LaRue County just sits right on the edge of the Bourbon Trail. So you've got, it's just, the best way for me to say it is an untapped market for extreme potential. So if you are an idea person, if you are ambitious in any way, there's a lot of opportunity for you to plant your seeds of ideas here and watch them flourish, because I think there's other people in leadership that really are interested in harnessing that energy and let it ride. Let's see what happens.
And let me say that I think that I've got over almost 30 years in education. I've been in lots of different districts, lots of different communities, but the people in LaRue County and Hodgenville are some of the best people that I have ever encountered, whether it be people out in the community like yourself or the people in the school system. So to me, that's just a huge draw. People that are caring and compassionate and care about each other. Not to mention that I think that our school district and the folks that are working with our children are some of the best.
Oh yeah.
So I agree with you. I think this is it's probably the best kept secret in the state.
Well, it's cool. I can, when working in the schools, I can go through about every single grade and be like, I was in 2nd grade and she was in 5th grade, or we went to school together, or I remember watching them when I was a kid growing. It's not like there's just one age group that decided to come back. We got 2 or 3 generations that have decided this is home, and we're going to make it the best version of home that we can. And you feel that compassion in the school. In being an occupational therapist, sometimes you see the rougher side of what kids have to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. And
to see that, if a kid doesn't have a good home life, to see how well that's compensated for in the classroom, that's enough to make you excited about the compassion, not just the education, but the compassion that's coming across.
Well, I'm glad you said, because it's one of our things is we in the school district we want to focus on the whole child.
Yeah.
You get lots of folks that are going to judge a district or a school based on test scores, and we like to remind folks that there's more to a child than one set of data, and so there's a lot that goes into that whole child, and so I think we do a really good job of that, and I think we're only going to get better at it. Casey, is there anything that you would like to tell folks that maybe that you want folks to know that I haven't asked about?
In thinking about, you've asked a lot of good questions. You've covered a lot of ground. You've done this a time or two, haven't you? I'm in front of a camera every morning because I think it's really important. I start my day off real positively, right? And it's not always a devotion, but it's trying. It's not always scripture. I mean to say, but I'm always trying to get myself in a good headspace to start the day. So I've started these segments of Coffee with Casey, and at the end of it, maybe I'm giving good advice, maybe it's hogwash, whatever. But at the end of it, this is not a mistake. Choose love. Go into each day and choosing to be kind, choosing to love people, and I think. I feel like it makes it seem cliche, but I think if you have the simplicity of that mindset, the rest of the day flows much better. And if your day flows well, your week flows well. If your week flows well, your year flows well. So choose love.
Hey, look, there's nothing I can do to top that. So you heard Casey. And let me say this before I wrap up here. I appreciate those, because I'm the same way. I like to start off with my days of being what I'm grateful for.
Yeah, and, the 3 gratefuls. Y'all got that going.
Even if it's sometimes it could be something big, something it could be something tiny, but it just like you said, it just puts you in the right frame of mind to know that no matter what happens today, I've got good stuff going on, right. And the fact that I woke up this morning, that it's all going to get better from here.
That's right.
But so anyway, that's brings us to the end of another Hawk Talk, again with Casey Clark. And if you're not already doing so, follow him on Twitter, follow him on Facebook. And as Casey said, choose love. And as I say, it's always a great day to be a Hawk.